Hello and welcome, beautiful soul connectors, to Tune In Thursday. I'm Claudia-Sam and I'm so excited to be here with you for this wonderful mini free training all about how to release the fear of not achieving our career and health and lifestyle goals, especially if we have the what if it doesn't work out mental chatter. I'm Claudia-Sam and I support driven women who feel stuck with where they're at in life, who feel like they aren't the happiest they can be. But deep down, they know they can be so much more in their lives. And as a soul coach, I support these driven women to tune into themselves, to hear their heart voice more than their head voice, and to have the confidence to go for those goals that we'll talk about today. And I do that using my tune in method. We're going to learn how what you're doing might affect whether you're afraid or not. What are you doing that is affecting the fear inside of you, and whether you're living in a low or a high vibration. You're also going to learn the 3 foundational systems to loving success instead of fearing failure. And you'll learn how the 5 layers of the self can help you to love yourself deeply, or at least work towards loving yourself, and without it being scary, so that you can achieve your health and lifestyle and wellness and career and financial abundance goals and happiness goals. All right? I want to know, what is something that in your head is the what if it doesn't work out? What is the what if it doesn't work out about? I want you to tell me, what is the what if it doesn't work out about? Today's training is all about releasing that fear of what if it doesn't work out, the fear of not achieving the career, health, or overall happiness goals. And I'm going to share with you 3 foundational steps. Are you ready? This is going to be fun. Before we go into the first step, I want you to imagine that there is a triangle, okay? Like triangle facing down, so pointing down. And at the top of the triangle, that's high vibration. So imagine like I'm like this and my arms are in a V. The top of the triangle, that's high vibe, okay? That's a positive environment. It's so wide and it's abundant and it's just big and open. It can hold so much energy. And at the bottom, it's very tight, right? It's narrow, it's closed, it's negative. This triangle would be the low vibration and high vibration symbol, where when you're at the top, a high vibe, you're more in the abundance energy of welcoming that wealth and that well-being and that self-care and that love for yourself, that fulfillment, that courage and trust, that confidence. And at the bottom is where there might be more of a lack mindset, not enoughness, not feeling worthy enough. And at that same level, at the bottom of the triangle, there is fear. So that's why today I wanted you to see that fear is at the bottom of that triangle. It's not together with the positivity and the abundance and the high vibe and the open energy. No, it's down below with the lack, with the narrow, with the closed, with the negativity, the low vibration. Fear is at that same place. Does that make sense? So when we look at the fact that fear is at the bottom of that low vibe energy, I want you to understand, now I'm going to go into the 5 layers of the self, because the reason most people don't reach their goals and don't find the confidence and the trust to go ahead and take the leap towards their new career, or leaving their relationship that doesn't work, or changing jobs, or shifting their mindset, or staying stuck, is because they stay in that stuck, low vibration, closed energy space. Therefore, fear is there. It's fear fear just takes up so much more space, whether when it's in abundance and there's more space for openness and attraction and positivity, there's more opportunities. Yeah? When we think about that same triangle, there's 5 layers. I want you to imagine that there's one layer on top of the other, on top of the other, on top of the other, on top of the other. There's 5 layers, okay? The bottom one is hidden by the 4 other layers. Can you visualize that in your head? Like there's 5 layers of triangles, but the bottom one, we can't see what it is because the 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st are on top. So the only one you see right now is the first one. And the first layer of the self is the body. Yeah, the body. What I mean by body, I mean whatever you see. You look in the mirror, what do you see? When you touch, what do you feel? That physicality is the body, the food body. When you eat, you ingest stuff, that's the body. That's the first thing we see, right? That's the first thing we will heal when something's off. So the body is the first layer of the self, but there's something behind it. And when we can heal the body first, then we get to the second layer. The second layer is the mind, the thoughts, right? Once we can figure out, okay, that I have a headache. Okay, well, the headache is me putting pressure on myself. I'm not doing good enough. I need to make a better decision. I need to do it right. That's the chatter of the mind. What does your mind tell you about success? Tell me in the comments, what does your mind tell you about whether you can reach a goal or not? The third layer of this 5 layers of the self is the emotions. The emotions is the layer that's often forgotten, right? We're going to push our emotions down until we explode because it feels so good to explode. That's not true, is it? So before we're able to feel and live through and experience and heal through emotions, we need to go through body and mind first. Does that make sense? Yeah? The 4th layer of the self is the energy. The energy of where you spend your time, how you spend your money, your thoughts, your actions, the energy of what you say yes to. Do you see how, because it's the 4th layer, it's often so easy to just disregard it and go, oh, I'm not going to set my boundaries because it's too far. I don't see it. It's hidden behind the body, the mind, and the emotions. Takes a lot of heavy, intense self-reflection work. Well, this is something you can shift your mindset around because it doesn't need to be heavy, intense. It can be so flowy and abundant and opportune and positive. It's all about how you see it. The 5th layer of the self is the soul. That's why it's so hidden down there. And, we're humans living on this physical plane with our body in this life. Our ego is taking way more space than the soul. But when we can recognize that our heart is speaking, it's like our soul speaking to us, like that essence of who we are. So when we talk about releasing the fear of not achieving our career, our health, our lifestyle, and wellness and happiness goals, we need to understand that the fear is that, remember the fear was at the bottom of that triangle, was low vibration? It's the same thing when it comes to the body. The body is equal to the fear in a sense, because when you have triangle over triangle, so you have soul that is big, I'm going to do it in front of you, soul, 5th layer, energy, 4th layer, emotions, mind, body. So you see how the triangle gets smaller, like the fear and the energy of fear is narrow and closer, more closed. So when we want to get rid of the fear, we have to understand that there's other layers. Okay? So the first foundational step to releasing that fear of not achieving the goals, of the what if it doesn't work out. Hey, I have the what if it doesn't work out too, but I'm able to switch it quick. This is how. First step is to be aware of the body, mind, and emotions. Those three first layers. And I like to see it like it's the awareness circle. Because whether you're aware of how you're feeling first, or how your body feeling emotionally or physically, or whatever your thoughts are, it's a wheel, it's a circle of awareness. It can start at any point around that awareness circle, and you can start to feel way better with yourself. So for example, this is the basic part of my tune-in framework. Being aware of the body, the mind, and the emotions. So right now, close your eyes. Take a big breath in. And out. How is your body feeling right now? Is there a part of your body that is just seeking for your attention? Maybe a part of the body that is like tingling, or maybe there's a forceful energy or a sucking energy or like a dagger. What is it? How does it feel in your body right now? And sometimes it can be like a constriction at the throat or pressure at the head. So by being aware of the body, that would be like one of the ways that you can start to release fear, because fear always, shows up as stuck energy. I'm going to say that again. If you're multitasking, come back to me. Fear always shows up as stuck energy, whether it's in the body, whether it's in the mind as a negative, what if it doesn't work out thought, I'm not good enough, I'm not going to reach it. It takes a lot of heavy, intense self-reflection work to get to my goal. It's tough, it's hard. That's how fear comes through thoughts. Does that happen to you? It's normal, we're humans. Another stuck energy would be through emotions. When we don't live our emotions, fear just settles in there and then creates a kind of sensation in the body. So by feeling the emotions, we release it. We release the fear of not achieving our career and health and wellness and happiness goals. So I'm going to ask you a question before we move on to step number 2. I did ask you what a thought was about being successful, but I want to be a bit more specific. Maybe you want to write this down. What's a belief that you have about being successful? A belief. For example, I'm going to take something that I see. A belief would be it takes a lot of heavy, intense, self-reflective work to be successful, or to feel good about yourself, maybe. What do you want the belief to change to? That's another question. If you know what the belief about being successful is, what do you want to change the belief to? You get to choose that. And in the intention setting mini event on May 22nd, we're going to go deeper in stuff like that so that you can create intentions and attract powerfully what you want to believe and how you want to lead your life. Okay? Let's go to the foundational step number 2 to releasing the fear of not attracting your goals. And I like to see it as an inner compass. That's step number 2. there's a lot of visualization in today's mini training because I'm not sharing my screen. So we're using imagination. Imagine a compass, right? With the thing that goes north or south or east and west, right? The compass. And that thing here, imagine that the top of this pen is another color. Okay, so this orange will be the north. Okay, so I want you just to have a better vision of what I'm doing here. Can you see me? Yeah. Okay, so imagine that when you're at your full potential, this is what it looks like. Full potential. And then here would be you are still kind of going around what your values are, what's important to you, what your needs are, what your desires are, what your boundaries are. You're still kind of facing your true north. But then down there, that's when you say yes to everyone else. Yeah, maybe that's the head, maybe that's the heart. Because when you're down south there, you say yes to everyone else, there's no boundary respect for yourself. Therefore, when you don't listen to yourself and you give everyone else the power to choose however you should go about your day, whatever should be in your calendar, however you should feel, when you let others choose for you, then fear settles in because that inner heart voice can't speak anymore. Do you want your heart voice to speak? Do you want to lead a life that is no longer according to how other people want you to live? Do you want to be able to believe that what your heart wants is possible? Do you want to be able to believe in yourself and raise the confidence that you have already inside of you to reach your full potential? To know what your boundaries are, to know what your needs are? I think you do, right? Let's go to the third step, foundational step to releasing the fear of not achieving your happiness or health or wellness or lifestyle goals. I see this third step as the expansive energy rule. The expansive energy rule. See it, imagine it as there's two entities, and these two entities have expansive arrows. Okay, so from the two entities, there's like all these arrows. Yeah? We're using our imagination. Is that working? The two entities from where there's expansion is our self and source. What I mean by that is whatever your God is, whatever the power that you believe in that is bigger than you, that is something you don't really fully know because you've never been there, it's beyond you, it's beyond your energy of the ego and of the humanity that you are in. So that source, that's what I call it, source. You can call it God, you can call it energy source. I like to call it positive energy source. So from when you live from a place of the 5 layers of the self, that's one entity, the self, and source, when you live from both those places, that means caring for yourself on those 5 layers, the body, the mind, the emotions, the energy, and the soul. And when you live from a place of, there is this bigger energy than me, there is a force that is there to support me. There is something that wants me to believe in myself. There is a reason why I'm here. So that's the source. Both the self and the source, they expand. When you work with them together, you expand in living in alignment, in fulfillment, in fullness, in wholeness. WHOLE, whole. You live a life That is my expansive energy rule. When you live from a place of all 5 layers of the self and from a place of connecting with the source, you are therefore in alignment with your true self, with your truth. You are in alignment and in connection with being so much more in your life. You are whole and you are feeling happy, and there is no fear. It's there, but it's just by your side. It doesn't affect you as much anymore. And that's why you end up in the bigger, at the top of the triangle that you visualized before. You visualize the top of the triangle that is more abundant, more open, more freeing, more happy. How does that sound to you? So I'm going to repeat the 3 foundational steps to releasing the fear of not achieving your goals. Step number 1 was the being aware of body, mind, and emotions. Okay? So that you can start somewhere and change the beliefs about success. Be able to get the fear stuck energy out of the way. Then the second step was all about that inner compass, right? In order to be there for your own values and recognize what your needs are and set your own boundaries, learn what's important to you and live in alignment with your full potential, we needed to not go down south to saying yes to others all the time. And then the third part was all about living in alignment with the 5 layers of the soul of the self, and connected with the source, with the positive energy that's bigger than you, so that you can live aligned, fulfilled, whole, and without fear as much. Because we're human and we're always going to have fear. It's just a matter of navigating it in a different way. So these were the 3 foundational steps to releasing the fear of not achieving your career, health, or overall happiness goals using the tune-in method. And so I would love to hear how this was for you. And I want to hear how it was for you. Thank you so much for being here.